Hello everyone. So in this video we are going to check how we can open our SQL Server Authentication mode and how we do the SQL Server Authentication mode login in our SQL Server. So basically everyone knows that we have two authentication mode in SQL Server, which is Windows Authentication mode and SQL Server Authentication mode. So the most common issue that people face while doing the SQL Server Authentication mode is 18456 error. Okay, so once you go in the login and you will put the credentials, login ID and the password, then this kind of pop-up will come. So here it is mentioned that login failed user SA because of this 18456 error. Okay, so now we will check how we will resolve this particular issue. So this is the most common issue that is faced by most of the users. Okay, so basically the reason of this issue are one issue is one of the most common issue is that you have not opened your mixed mode configuration setting. So what you need to do for checking if you have means opened your mixed mode configuration setting or only Windows setting is open. So just right click on this server and go to properties, and here you will go to settings, means security. Here you will go to security, and then you will check that this particular thing is there. So Windows authentication mode we have, and we have SQL Server and without authentication mode, means mixed mode of authentication. So you need to click check on this SQL Server and Windows authentication mode, and then after you need to press OK. So once you have done this, so then you need to restart your server. So there are two ways of restarting your server. You can restart from here also, and if you are not able to restart from here, then what you need to do, you need to go on start button and search for this component services. So once you go in component services, then here you need to go in services. Okay, then in services you need to look for SQL Server. So search for it. Okay, so here you will see there are, as you know, SQL Server comes in instances. So this particular instance, MS SQL Server, is the default instance that we have, and this SQL Server ABKQ is the instance that we have defined while installing the SQL Server. So in my first video, previous video, you can check how we have installed the SQL Server 2022 and how we have put these instances and all. Okay, so here when you go, you just need to right click on this and you need to restart it from here directly and just check this is running. Okay, so this is the other method by which you can restart your system. And after doing this, what is the thing, the most common, you need to go to security and check for logins. Okay, so sometimes what happen, this SA, which is the default login user ID, so this has been off. So you need to go disabled, means you can say disabled. So right click on this and go to properties and check this particular thing. So login name should be SA as default, and password, here you need to give the password as per your means will. As per your will, you will put the password that you will remember. And then what you need to go, the main thing that you need to check is the status. So mostly what happened, by default the status is disabled, so we need to enable this particular status, login status, and permission we need to grant that permission. Okay, so once you grant this permission, then you will be able to log in using SQL Server Authentication mode. Okay, so I will show you once by logging in. Okay, when we go to SQL Server Authentication, we have provided the SA and the password that we have provided currently. Okay, okay, so once we connect, say this, we are able to connect here. Okay, and one more thing you need to check here. Sometimes what happen, sometimes this SQL Server agent has been off. So how to do the setting of the SQL Server agent? Okay, so once you will right click on this and go to properties, then you will check here the auto restart SQL Server if it stops unexpectedly, and auto restart SQL Server agent if it stops unexpectedly. So you need to check on both of them by checking it. Okay, and one more setting you can do for SQL Server agent is by going into, go to start and check for SQL Server configuration. So SQL Server 2020, Okay, so once you go in this SQL Server 2022 configuration stuff, then you will find a pop-up to give them permission. So click yes on that. So once you click yes, okay, this kind of interface will open. So here you can see here when you go to SQL Server Services, so here you will find both of your instances that we have currently in our system. So this should set at the start mode as automatic. Okay, and the state should be running. So for doing this particular thing, what you need to do, you need to go inside this, right click on this and do on properties. And once you go on properties, then check for this advanced setting, not services. Okay, then check for the services, and here you will find out the start mode. So the start mode should be 3, automatic, disabled or manual. So put it as automatic, so that means it will run automatically. You don't need to come again and again and do this particular thing. So once this is okay, and see this, it is running and automatically it will start. So this particular thing we can do for SQL Server agent also. So yes, our video will end here only. So keep updated here, and check our latest series, that master series we have started on SQL Server tutorial. So go through that also for a complete knowledge on SQL Server, and like, share and subscribe to our channel for latest update. Press the bell icon, and thank you for watching.